Going from a rocket trip to space to a flower garden. I guess such is a day in the life of Baba. Why not? Although, to be fair, it's like, despite the fact that this seems kind of like a downgrade from the previous level, this entire game has a big, like, flower theme. I'm collecting seeds, I'm getting flowers, there have been 2 other plant-themed worlds, so sure, why not? And this is a kind of re-recording of a couple of these first levels, which I bumbled through to an insane degree, so ignore the fact they're completed right now. Condition. Oh yeah. I am ready for this one, because so far we've got is, we've got and, we've got not, and now we have if. So, if KK is on grass, defeat. Obviously, if I just get rid of defeat, there's almost no circumstance in which defeat is going to be useful, but at the same time, it's like, yeah. That's really just more reason to get rid of it. Alright, so easiest way to solve this level is just to do this. Kind of like push stuff out of the way, because in about 5 seconds, I am going to be taking key and making that U. After all, the entire goal of this level is just to get a key, you know, to that door. And I gotta create a key in one way. Of course, that's not how you actually do that level. That's ridiculous. I didn't even use the whole conditional thing. Alright, so what you actually want to do here is that when this grass, because the first word in these sentences is the thing that's affected. So if grass is defeat. And I want to change that to if grass is key. And that's if grass is on KK. Then it becomes a key. Nice little introduction to the level. Good way to figure out exactly how you're going to be using those, because it's going to be coming up a whole ton in these following areas. However, first off, this is the other branch of this area, and we got another new keyword to be learning here. And that is make. Make. To be honest, though, I did read that as make the first time I saw it, and I could not figure out how to use it for a while. But basically, flag makes moon. There you go. Simple as that. A way to generate an infinite amount of a specific item and then screw around with it in one way or another. Look, if you can do this, why wouldn't you? And let's go. Another very simple, straightforward tutorial level, but one that teaches you a lot of very useful knowledge that's going to be coming up in the future here. But right now, going back into the conditional area where, oh yes. So the entire thing with the conditional is the idea that you can now control if an object is going to become another object, or if an object is going to be like using an action with a lot more precision and timing than you ever could before. So, for example, if I went through here, it's like I can make that key and all that, but that's not useful because then I can't get out of there. So, again, not difficult, but it is a good learning experience, because now it means that if the rock is on the belt, it's shift, which basically means that the rock is, well, I do need to. No, wait, I can walk on the belt. So basically, shift is not affecting everything anymore. And now, if I do have the rock on the belt, which I'm going to do in just about 5 seconds, well, I mean, I would be doing, but I don't need to. It's like the rock would be shift, and the rock would be shifting around the belt. The belt would not be shifting anything. And that sort of simple idea makes you can push this to the door, finish the level. Although before I go here, I want to point out that this level is called Sorting Facility, and you can see a bunch of like little boxes and everything around here. Some cute set dressing. Just want to point that one out. So yeah, on can be used not only to cause a conditional to happen, but to also cause actions to not happen. Also something that's going to be quite important soon enough. Alright, so pretty easy concept here. If I push the rock over, I can push it on the water, but then making flag win, I sink. So pretty much I need to get something over there to also sink. Although, not necessarily, really. I mean, I can just do this, because text is a resource. However, I can't, because as soon as I push that rock onto the shift, the KK is not affected by the shift. The rock is affected by the shift. Which is why what I need to do is take this text object down here. And this is probably one of the more interesting ways that you can use. This is probably one of the more interesting ways that you can actually use a the conditional. Because usually if text is something, that's literally all of the text in the level, and the level becomes unwinnable. However, with the conditional, now what you can do is you can make a single piece of text into a thing, making stuff even more valuable as far as making like text even more valuable as a resource than it was before. Well, anyway, really, this puzzle, very simple. All you need to do is rock on text is push. Because then what I can do is that rock is normally not push, so that if I push it here, then rock is no longer push, and I can push the text back on top of it. And then it becomes push again. Just use that little KK to get in there, and we're good. Easy peasy. Too easy, in fact, because now we got Secret Garden, which is, oh boy, this is something. Oh yes, and this was also changed up recently, so the skull was added here. Previously, all you had was everything you saw minus the skull. Except the skull and the condition, you know, that you need to get rid of it is a very big hint as to what exactly you need to do related to this puzzle here. And I hope you're prepared, because this is a return of everybody's favorite mechanic, the Skull House mechanic, where you turn an object into two different objects. So then, bam. And now all I need to do is say... Because the thing is, I need multiple objects here to be on top of each other, and I don't need that, and I don't need KK to be text. Come on. And then I just need to have this conditional working for me here. Don't turn text into KK. Causing a grand convergence, which I do not want to have happen. All right. So there's KK and the text on the rock. Yeah, the entire... You know, when I first saw the Skull House, and when I first saw how Skull House was going to be working, I knew with absolute certainty that that was going to be an enormous mechanic in the future to try to figure out some of this sort of stuff, where you need more objects that are actually afforded to you in the level. And, well, that premonition has come true here and in a few of the other levels that I've seen thus far, so look forward to seeing that particular mechanic a little bit more in the future. Alright, this is useful in everything, but if I go over here with the KK rock, they both get destroyed because you both... For some reason, two objects. It doesn't sync one object, it syncs both objects on the same area. So pretty much what I need to do is I need to kind of make sure that I get KK off of that rock, first off. And then KK and rock both being pushed. Oh, wait, I need to destroy the skull first. Apparently I forgot to actually make that happen. There we go. Alright, so this is now just a very delicate dance of, well, actually it's not even a delicate dance at all, because the thing is, I don't need that rock to be a rock anymore. In fact, it's probably better if it's not, so I can make it like that. However, we got the whole problem of not being able to push both of these things over at once. So here comes the conditional again, as I make it so that I push you over here. You gotta have enough space to be able to push things at the same time that you have other stuff. You have to have enough space to push things through here, to push things up and around and all that sort of stuff. So I need to text to be on the rock, but I also need to not be on the shifting belt because otherwise they would be shifted separately and then pushed together. Oh, so many things to be doing, certainly. But really, all I need to do is just get something across that belt and then turn it back to text, and we should be good. Oh, and then KK needs to be pushed again. Hey, it's an extra puzzle. It is not easy. And this was not the one that I had the huge amount of trouble with. That's the other extra in this world, which is going to be coming up pretty soon. In a delicate dance of just figuring out how exactly to get two objects on each other and then also not getting sank at the same time. Good stuff, good stuff. Oh, these levels are getting real complex, let me tell ya. Oh boy. So, Maritime Adventures, that's what this one's called. First off, nice garden level. Good job, guys. And the way that I was originally looking at this is that there is some, like, kind of fun shenanigans that you can do here with, like, Baba is Move. And I'm not going to do it just yet, because I want to show that... So, Lava is now Defeat, Skull is Hot, and that just means that I can't really push text out of there. But now I can't get through there. And that's kind of the entire crux of the level, figuring a way to get over that lava. But there is actually kind of some way to get around that with this sort of weird shenanigan. Because even though Lava is Defeat, with Baba is Move, you can walk over this because you go 2 squares at once. This is not helpful. That's just something that I wanted to point out because I thought it was interesting. Of course, you're actually going to need to be using the wall, you're going to be needing to use the hand, you're going to need to be using everything. And it's like Baba is Move can actually be used to do some weird shenanigans. You remember the further fields all the way back in the ruins, I think? So it's like if I got hand is you, for example, and then we just got this pushed way... and then we make sure that Baba doesn't actually accidentally turn into a hand. There we go. Can move this down here, and then I can make Baba is you again. And I actually don't want to do it like this exactly, but... Yes, this is another thing like the lock the door, where this is not the solution, but I want to kind of walk you through the thought process that I was having when I was doing this. So we just move this out of the way. Get this down here, and it's like, okay, now we can get... Try again, you idiot moron man. And now, if I do it like this is what I need. Can do that, get over here, walk across here, stop that from being moved, because that's not very useful as of right now. Although, I might need to go from a different way. There we go. That'll do it. And then pretty much what I can do is I can make Wall is Move, which sort of a further fields type of thing, although I have to kind of... Well, Wall is Push, and then what I can do is I can like make Baba is you, not be me for a small amount of time, get pushed over the lava, but then I need to get pushed even more from that. And that, while I... way certainly that you can do it, is not even remotely close to how you want to. I mean, pretty much you're given 4 points of wall for a good reason. Because the thing is, although you can't... Hand, come on. Because although you can't change the direction of an object if it's moving unless you can, like, push it or something like that, if it is on a wall, and if during the time that it's on a wall it becomes you can choose the direction that it will go. And that suddenly becomes extremely useful. So it's actually a much, much simpler... Because as long as the object's not you, as long as this object is not you, it's totally fine. And that's why you got that conditional in here. Because anytime that it's not on the wall, suddenly the hand becomes you, and then you can just basically hang out. Nope. And then you can basically just hang out in this area until that hand is able to unlock that door. I guess Baba doesn't have hands, so Baba can't actually operate the doorknob or something, and that's the entire concept behind this level. All right, hand on wall is you. That's all I need to do, basically. Although I do need to get that Baba is you down here. Well, not necessarily. I can just do it like this. Doesn't really matter if I kind of get that hand locked in the upper part of this level after all, because as of right now, this is really all I need to make this work. Now we're just going to do that. And we are going to move this out of the way. And we're going to just get that hand pushed into place, and the entire machinations will be set off to work. Let's go. There. That also works. And has to be push and move. Ah, crap. Well, quick cut. And now my brilliant machinations go into play. Let's go. Yep, it is all just a... First off, I need to do this. It's all just a very complicated way to try to get the hand to be to just get the hand to change directions. So the second that it hits a wall, it will go the direction that I tap, and that's all I need. There you go. A very cute way to do some automation in the level. I like it a lot. I think that's a very clever level, although it did give me a little bit of trouble the first time I tried it. You saw the weird nonsense that I was trying to work on there. And with 7 flowers, I can now open up that gate, and I am going to be doing it. Don't even worry about that. I'm not going to be doing... I'm going to be doing some stuff with it, let's just say that. Speaking of stuff, got all of it here. And boy, wow, does this look like so much more complicated of a level than it actually is. I mean... It's like, okay, so actual goals right now. Can't get over the water in any way. That's just not happening. I mean, you can try as much as you want, and pretty much everything that you have is going to be destroyed the second that it touches that water. Because water is hot, and Baba, Key, Ice is all melt. Goal, get doors shut up here, and then also at the same time get a key up here. KK is going to turn into a hedge as soon as the key gets on him. So that's a good hint to know that, well, I need to actually get a key over here in one way or another. And then the easiest way to get the door into that kind of upper area is to have the key push it. So get key locked into being moved here. No, wait, now I'm remembering. And I'm like, wait, what did I screw up here? Because I completely forgot. There you go. Now with that being pushed in the right direction, that will get everything up there. Unfortunately, now I'm without a key, and the door is sort of inaccessible. So this is where Make comes in. And just have the key Make-ing some ice. Can't believe how many times I do that in every one of these levels. Anyway. So, first off, that's not terrible. I don't know, I mean, if I wanted to, I could do something like this then. This is not tremendously useful. I mean, aside from not having the door keyword be inaccessible, though, this is a way to get a key. Just do it like this. Unfortunately, I need to get through that door, so this is not going to work. Let's just kind of undo everything. And by the way, I can't have a key, like, from the bottom push the door up after this because KK becomes a hedge. So that sort of prevents any sort of moving in there after that point. Look at those keys just get sucked into that ice. Anyway. So while this is all a pretty good idea, I am also given all this stuff for obvious reasons here. Because pretty much what I'm going to want to do is make it so that I do want the key making ice. That is actually true. However, before I do that, basically, I want it to be that if the key is on ice, I want it to be moving. Because then I have a lot more control over the key. I can make it stop at certain points. I can make like stop and start, and that's going to be extremely useful. And of course, as I'm sure you can probably already tell, they gave you just enough keywords to make that work. So, am I forgetting exactly what I just said I needed to do? Why, yes. Yes, I am. Yep. All right, let's go. And then, yeah, at any point in time, I can stop that key from making ice and hence stop it from moving. It's weird that, like, I'm not even paying attention to myself when I'm doing this sometimes, apparently. One more move upwards, and I just need to get that key to be movable, and that's the level. It's again another example of conditionals providing extremely precise control over the actions that things can take. Even if I can't change the fact that the key is moving. Like once I make the key start moving, it's locked in there. With conditionals, I can choose how the key moves, and that's a big difference that is extremely useful. Okay, it took me a second to remember what the actual solution to this puzzle is. Oh man, it is somewhat difficult sometimes. Let's just say that. It's that level of this puzzle was moderately difficult, but it wasn't trivially easy, but it also wasn't super difficult that I would have the exact solution like ingrained in my brain. Ingrained in the membrane. Alright, so pretty much, yeah, all I need to do is I need to get that, and then I forgot kind of what to do after that point, because what you need to do is you need to get that rock is push in here so that you can have it line up while you're on top of the rock, because otherwise you're just going to push the rock in more and then be unable to push it up in the exact position to get pillar on water is sink. And then that means that the pillar would be sink, except the pillar no longer exists, so we are totally okay. Another usage of a conditional, that's not what I wanted to do. Another usage of a conditional kind of preventing an object from doing something that I can't otherwise stop an object from doing. It's just making sure that you can get in that right position by taking out those two exact bits of water. That's all that you need, and then we're gravy. Yeah, it's funny because the conditional actually doesn't really play all that much of a part in figuring out exactly what you need to do. As soon as you understand that you need to have that accomplished in that way, that's really all you need to do. The difficulty is getting the rocks and the objects pushed in the correct place. Oh, this is such a weird one. So, KKs make tile. KKs are going to be walking. So tile is defeat. Grass is defeat. And I also create grass. So I can't even, like, wait a turn. Because I only get a grace period of 1 turn before the grass stops being defeat. And the grasses stop so that I can stop KKs from doing stuff. But it's like I actually need that flag on rock is me and me on rock is win. So first off, what I need is I need them not to destroy that phrase. Unfortunately, if I try to get them to stop, then I'm just like, since tile is defeat, that is just an unwinnable condition. So you just gotta remember that you can use text. And there we go. Now that is not destroyed. And that is kind of the important bit at the very start here. But now I need to get that rock onto the flag. Yeah, having this grass follow behind me is essentially like having, like, Baba being permanently weak to a certain extent. Alright, so this is the win condition. Oh wait, I can't walk onto it at the same time? Yeah, that's the other joke that you're given here. And basically what you need to do is you need to make it so that rock stops being pushed so that you don't move the rock out of the way as soon as you get it onto the flag. So, gotta buy myself a little time. I can't wait for any amount of time just because of the crazy conditions that I'm under currently. So I just gotta fill as many squares with grass as possible. Okay, come on. There we go. And that should do it. a very weird level. Not like there's still the logic part of it, but there's also a lot of other weird things going on that might make you think that it's more complicated than it actually is. I mean, certainly that was true for me when I first did it, but it's more straightforward than it seems. Oh boy. All right, so key is key and key, fruit is key, and the problem is that if I make Baba into a key, grass is open. So pretty much I can't do, well, anything on here with a key. Now there's a key over here, and I can do this, but now I can't get the key out of there, nor can I even move the key. And if I make the key push, then I'm going to just push it inside of there. So the one object that I can actually change in this area is Baba. And I'm going to want to do that. To do this. Except I'm also going to want to actually make fruit me in the first place. Also, I thought those were pumpkins. They look like little pumpkins. Maybe it's because they're orange like that. But yes, getting two objects to be the same thing is kind of important, because now I can sort of manipulate stuff around here. The initial way that I was looking at this was that what I need to do is I need to transform the fruit, or specifically a Baba, if I got like something like key on fruit is you or something like that. Because I mean, I certainly could, it's just I need to have a key. It's like if I tried to have key on fruit is you over here, well, that's all locked off now. So like I was saying, the idea here was that I need to get like Baba over here, and then I need to transform him into a key, because then he wouldn't be destroyed by opening a tile of grass. But that is actually not what you need to do. You have this push for a reason, after all. And indeed, it's actually... It's a very, you know, you make the push happen exactly when you need it to, because much like the rest of the levels in here, it's all about making sure that the conditional that you're creating is active at the exact time you want it to be, which is specifically when the key is on a fruit. Now you might say, well, what does that even mean in this context? Well, I got two fruits. Oh, wait, no. I need both you guys to get down here. So, in this case, it's push right now, but since I'm on top of the key, I can't push it. So all I need to do is make sure that the key is on top of a fruit when I can push it. Very weird to have that happen, but can't say it's ineffective. Yeah, the conditional. It is all about control. You just get things controlled correctly. Okay, I want to save out at sea for the very last bit, because this level was very nearly in this video going to be uncompleted, but I did very narrowly manage to figure out how to complete that. So I want to kind of run you through the many, many thought processes that I had there when I was initially working on it. Alright, so, got a whole lot of stuff going on here, seemingly. Baba make, so I'm going to be able to make as many belts as I want, eventually. Hand is defeat, so I'm not going to be able to have hand be defeat, but I can have hand be move. And if I have belts shifting, suddenly that's going to be much more useful. So there's two things pretty much that I need these hands to do. One, I need the hands to move this ice out of the way, which I should be able to do if, say, belt is push, and they're able to push a belt in here and then have the belt shift this ice out of the way. That's the first thing to think about. The next thing is that if I just push this upwards, then flag and ice is going to be defeat. So instead, I want to push this to the left, make ice defeat, and then be able to push win up to make ice and flag be win. And there is a thing here where it seems like due to the way that the skulls are set up, you can only really push like belt over here and make a bunch of belts in this area. Not true, because defeat just means that it will defeat me. I can get belt over here if I do this sort of shenanigans. All right. So now I can create a lot of belts. And then I can also stop creating belts and then make belt a usable keyword soon as well. Let's just get a bunch of these. I'm gonna want a bunch of belts after all. All right, great. Now like make belt push. And I can just kind of push everything out of here. And now I have a lot of usable belts. Which is good. I'm going to need a lot of them. And in fact, let's just kind of get this down here to make sure that it's not like doing anything. And like I said, I want to eventually get this belt shifting that ice upwards, which I can do if I can make belt push at the same time a hand is moving on top of the flag. So, I'm going to do that. All right, now with all these belts here, gonna need what? I'm gonna need like one over here to be pushed to the left, something like that. Like oh, wait. Trying to remember exactly here because okay. So eventually, I'm going to want to let's sort of get this out of the way first, and then I'm going to want that shift to move the... Or I'm going to want that hand. I'm going to want a hand to be able to move the hand... Or to be able to move that defeat in a direction that I need it to be moving. So let's just kind of make sure that I got a good berth to get that out of there. Good. Make hand being pushed just so that I can actually get the hand over here in the first place. All right, come on, Hando. Weird that hand is an object. All right, so pretty much with this, I got the hand here. Hand's moving back and forth. I could actually just get the belt to shift that skull up a little bit and then... Yeah, maybe I'll just get the belt to, like, do my dirty work for me instead of one of the hands. Technically, don't even need that then. And then do it like, get a second couple belts here. Yeah, the make has been very, very useful here just to create as many of these belts as I can possibly get, which has been pretty great. All right, push these two up. And then hand is defeat. So I guess I'll just make hand push and try to get it out of the way. Because I kind of didn't really think that through when I was doing it originally. All right, and doop. And check it out, yo. Oh, no, not this, but then this. And now we just turn belt into being shift instead. Watch out for those skulls. Well, that does also kind of make it a little bit easier to move around in general, though, so not the worst thing. All right. Pretty straightforward what I need to do here. I just need to make the... Pretty much I just need to make the, push the belt up there again and then make that into shift once more to push that skull over, and we're gonna be golden, basically. Let's just kind of get this out of the way, I suppose. Shift is a very good keyword to be using for a lot of stuff. It does a lot of things, basically. It will move objects that don't even have any other, like, attributes, including something like a skull, so that I can do stuff like that. And then I just need to grab one more piece of belt. And there we are. So ice and flag is wind. We're getting somewhere now. And this is great and all. Very happy with what's been happening so far, but I am going to need this hand to be pushed so that I can get it in the correct location again. Yeah, that first hand up there, I guess, was totally useless. Whatever, that's fine. So, ice and flag is win, but ice is also defeat. That's not going to be too helpful. I just need to get you over here. I need the hand is move now. And then I'm going to need that ice. And then basically the ice is going to be shifted because I'm going to turn the hand into shift. Because I'm going to turn the belt into shift as the hand pushes it on there. And I suppose I can really just kind of have these working like that at all points in time because it's the belt that is going to be having some fun shenanigans happening with it. All right. I just line this up correctly as soon as that hand gets on that flag. There. And then... And one more time. Oh, wait. Need that belt to stop being shift. Nope, not like that. And one more time, and... Nope, I wanted to not wait one turn. And there we go. Oh, no, wait. Belt is still shift. Better stop that right now. I want to say I probably did not do this in the intended method, but at the same time, if I was given, at the same time, I was given an infinite amount of belts to work with. So, I don't know. I feel like it is a perfectly legitimate way to do that level. Out at sea. Let's go. This one is rough. You're given a very minimal amount of objects, and pretty much what you need to do is, despite the fact that you can have ice be push, doesn't really matter because as soon as you push it over here, this box can't move. It has the flag. It can melt. Pretty much the entire idea behind this level is that you need to get ice out here, and you also need to get lava out here. They need to both be pushable, and then you got to push them onto this, and then you got to push the ice into the door. You got to push the lava onto the box. And that's the entire thing. You only have this many keywords to work with, which is almost nothing. So that, like, making lava and ice push alone, which is something that you need to do, is not easy in any way. It's actually quite difficult. So, what do you actually do? Well, this is another thing where text becomes... I mean, this is another sort of a Skull House type of situation, where you had to learn that it's like here's something new you can do with the tools at hand. Number one, if I were to push lava onto the ice here, and then if I were to change this ice into text, and this is the big lesson, bam. Now I have two keywords on one. And in fact, they work exactly like you would think they would. So I can make like lava ice push. And now if I were to have a piece of ice, like, I don't know, text on lava. Push this up first. Text on lava is ice, for example. I already have an ice keyword. I technically don't need a second one after all. But it's like there. Now we got a piece of lava ice, basically. And if I make lava ice's push, I can push it. So when you got two keywords on one, it actually works as if both keywords are being affected by that is push. And that is an extremely important concept to learn for later levels, as well as this one. This is the Skull House thing. And it took me a long time to realize that that's exactly how that works, because you don't really get too many opportunities to push like two pieces of text onto each other, or to create a piece of text underneath a piece of text. And I think that it's like, yeah, even if I were to say something like text is lava ice, it's like, yeah, it turns everything into two objects. Very Skull House. Very Skull House. So, I mean, that's a level, right? All I gotta do is just get this in here and... Oh, wait, no. Lava is still push, which prevents me from pushing that into the door. So, as much as I was a genius for figuring out the double text there and making it so that lava and ice can be pushed at once, not quite there. I need to have those objects be separated. However, I have too few objects here to really make it so that I can have them not be on top of each other. And this is the one that took me not nearly as long, the lava ice. Lava ice. Figuring out the lava ice keyword was the real thing. But this one did take me a little bit too. So I'm going to create lava ice again. I'm going to have that. And then my idea originally was when text is on lava ice turns to ice, right? Which makes sense. And then it's like, what do I need the second ice keyword for? I already have an ice keyword in the lava ice. It's like, well, if I want to separate the lava and ice, I can't destroy that ice keyword, because then what I need to do is I need there to be at least one piece of ice text to be able to move something that isn't lava and ice at the same time. So what I can do is I can sacrifice this on, because as it turns out, I don't really need it past this point. So that makes it so that I can push this separately. Doop. And then we can make lava and ice push at the same time. And it works exactly like you think it does. Bam, and... It's a rough level. Yeah, it was the idea that you had to turn that on into ice. That was the second part that really tripped me up a lot. But lava ice was the big one. So there you go. Combining two pieces of text make them work as if they are two pieces of text affecting the same object. Two different pieces of text affecting the same object despite the fact that they're on the same square. Oh, what a level. What a level. But important information to know. It just took me quite a while to figure that out. And despite the fact that the flower garden is finished, oh yes. So yeah, the little intro area down here. Thought that it was just gonna be this, right? It's like, nope, when you get 7 flowers, it suddenly opens up some new levels. Some new map levels. I'm probably gonna have to change the first video to say world map and, what is it, the sea? Underwater? Whatever that world was called. And, you know what? We're here. Let's do them. Introducing a new concept right off the bat. Level is move. Level. The entire level. Buckle your seatbelts, because we're going to be in for a wild ride. Other than that, rock is defeat, so I can't immediately barrel into the rocks. So we're going to have to go around here. Buckle your seatbelts. We're in for a wild ride. Oh, man. All right. So that was easy, but obviously, if you didn't see it coming, it's kind of difficult to figure out. And then that opens up 2 more. Fragile Existence and Hostile Environment. Both very, very promising level names. Let's go. Level is weak. I should probably stop doing that to poor Baba. He I assume, doesn't like it. Alright, so, what do we got here? We got key is hot, we got door is melt. Got door is defeat, too. So, the notable thing here is to say that if I get the key on top of the door, then it is not going to be stopped. It is not stopped by the wall. However, I don't have any ability to actually push it anywhere. And if I try to do something like this, not going to be tremendously helpful because it's also defeat as soon as it hits the... Yeah, as soon as the key hits the wall, it's going to be defeat, which is frustrating. Okay, Okay, let's do this, and then let's make sure that's proven. Yep, so, you remember all the way back, you remember how people were calling me a fool, an idiot, for not understanding the dungeon puzzle where I was doing that weird shimmy shake with KK and Baba? Well, now who's the fool? Haha! It was just now all leading up to this point. You thought that I didn't understand what I was doing, but I didn't, and now I actually do, because that's useful now. See, regardless of if you don't quite get the exact solution, you can still figure out stuff, even if it's not the good way of doing it. And also, actually, instead of doing that, I kind of want to have this, so I'm not pushing around the keywords and all a bunch of whack, crazy positions. And now, here's the real question, though. What do you do past this point? And it's, well, you do have that level keyword, after all. So why not just make sure that I get that out here, and then... Is it getting hot in here, or is it just this level? I like that it really does just start, like, to become a sauna, too. That's cute. So first off, doors defeat. I never need defeat for any reason. Get out of here. And then you might see that conspicuously the wall keyword is very much out in the open and ready to become melt right now. Walls stopping me, getting in my way. No longer. Literally, the entire level is hot, so it's like the walls did not stand a chance. Okay, stop doing that. There you go. That's fragile existence. You don't want to make the level weak. Let's just say that right now. Hostile environment. Why is it hostile? Well, because level is defeat. Hostile indeed. Alright, this one is actually not too difficult at all. I got this one much faster than I got Fragile Existence, because what you can do is you can get, well, first off, has keyword, and you know how much I love has, because that is, it's just ripe for some fun exploitations. And actually, first off, before I even do this, though, let's kind of... Nope! Let's kind of get this flag out of the way, because I don't want it to be kind of screwing around with the words, with the text. Alright, to just kind of throw you over here for reasons that are going to become apparent very soon. And alright, so... Even though Baba may be defeated the second that even though Baba may be defeated the second that the level becomes defeat, there is clearly some space back there that you can continue pushing defeat and kind of get it out of the way. Which is great, because that's what I'm going to do. And since KK is not going to be controlled by me, and KK has Baba, then I have a free way to get out of here as soon as that happens. So let's just say we want KK to be move. However, we also want KK to be weak. Why? Because KK is eventually going to hit that flag. KK walking against text, walking against walls, will not defeat him. Walking against another object, the flag in this case, will. Let's get these machinations in order. Hostile, but only for right now. Bam. Let's go. And there you go. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward level. Just kind of screwing around with the concept of things continuing to move even after Baba is defeated. You ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, you saw this. You saw this and you were like, wait a second. But what if you did, say, something else here? Well, let's do it. And this is clearly set up in a way that you want to do it like this, right? Baba is popping off. Let's go. Ominous. Well, that's great and everything, and it's nice that I finally got over to that level, but let's get right back in there. Yep. I thought this was going to be a world when I first saw it, but no. Apparently it was hiding, literally, something much more interesting. All right. And there is the first orb now. I mean, you can see in the upper right corner now, I have an orb. What does that mean? I don't know. But I got it. Then hostile environment, very similar sort of thing. I mean, something else you might have noticed on the world map is that there is a flag is win. So, yeah. And you might have also noticed that that very conspicuously the flag is win in the upper right corner is very much like in a position where you could, like, I don't know, maybe move it somewhere, do something with that, move it to the where the level is. Let's go do that. Very clever how the fragile existence was created in a very specific way that you would attempt to make Baba the level is Baba. I like that. It's like, because otherwise the level is a little difficult to kind of figure out how to actually beat it, but it's like if you are trying to, but like if you do see the yeah, it's easy to it's way easier to make Baba is the level than it is to, like, actually beat the level, which is why it's created in a way that you're going to try that. That's going to be something that you will attempt, and then you'll realize, oh no. This game really is living up to the sort of standard that Environmental Station Alpha set out. And the second that you open up that 7th gate, suddenly it gets a lot crazier. All right, let's get this flag out of here, and you know what to do, baby. And there you go. Also, you can see the levels that you have beaten that have turned into other objects have a pink outline to let you know that you did actually beat it. So I beat the world map. Yep. The world map has been beaten. Next time, we are not going to be looking at that. As much as it would be fun to look at that, now there's still a lot more stuff to do in the regular game before we start checking out weirdo side areas. So I'm going to be going into the volcanic cavern. I'll be like lava and bats and everything that entails.